Welcome back. Dr. Lavani from Easy Biostat. In our series, How to Begin Data Analysis for the purpose of writing papers or writing theses. So the present video, we talk about data and study design. Now, data, we talk about types of data, but what is the source of data? So there are existing data and new data. There are two kinds of data are there. Existing data are available from published information like reports, journals, government reports. So one can collect and use them. On the other hand, new data has to be generated. So in order to generate a new data, we require a particular kind of framework. So that framework is called study design, with what the topic of this video is data collection from different study designs. How to begin data analysis series. Today we have data and study design. How data are related to the study design. In fact, data, we talked about types of data, qualitative and quantitative, but we have not made a mention of what is the source of data. So whether it is a existing data or a new data. So when you want to generate a new data, so a particular study design is required for a certain objectives to collect the data. So study design is a framework under which data are collected. Now let us look at some of those designs and from which what kind of data we collect. Well, in this we have a set of questions for you to assess the awareness, to assess to what extent you are aware of some of the questions related to study design. So awareness of study design for data collection, yes or no. So you can answer yourself. Primarily you are aware of it, it is well, and else we supply you some additional information, hopefully. Study design is a data collection framework. Now I have a set of questions, knowledge testing questions for you, and that is first question is that 40,000 initially healthy menopausal women were randomly allocated to receive aspirin on alternate days or placebo, then monitored them for several years for the first major cardiovascular event. So looking at the objective that investigator wants to perform and find out the answer, what do you think, what kind of study design is needed for this? So under what framework, what all they have to collect, how they have to collect. So then we have a next question, knowledge testing question. A researcher wished to see if women who have taken OC pill have an earlier or later menopause than other women. So here there are two aspects, the OC pill and menopausal. So for this objective, what kind of design is needed? I think it is becoming clear now. Our study design depends on the objective we want to achieve. So for a single design is not applicable for all research questions. That has to be kept in mind. So we have another question. So given lung cancer cases and non-cases and their smoking status assessed retrospectively from the case sheets or for the interview, what study would determine the association between cancer and smoking? So how do you do that? Next study design is, our next question is that what type of study is required to know the blood pressure pattern among adolescents of age 14 to 19 of either sex residing in a defined area. So if you look at it, like if you want to assess the pattern of the blood pressure, how much is in 14, how much is in 15, 16, 17 and so on. So I am giving you the answers for all of them. You might have thought of some answers. First question, aspirin and cardiac disease. It is a trial. And OC pills and menopausal, it's a prospective study. The persons who are taking OC pill and not taking OC pill, they are prospectively followed up. Their menopausal status is noted. And then next is lung cancer cases and controls. Yeah, lung cancer cases and controls. So it's a case control study. You are enrolling cancer cases and non-cases. It's a case and control type of. So blood pressure pattern is a cross-sectional study. So study design is dependent on study objective. Now we'll go to each design, how pictorially it looks like. And so if you look at here, in a clinical trial, like aspirin trial only you take the one we have mentioned. So a group of women are given aspirin, and the another group is given placebo. So we have followed up. So one thing has to be very important here, how they have got aspirin, particular woman, how the particular woman has got placebo. It is not their choice. The treatment allocation is made randomly, which is called randomization. By using randomization, so we have segregated the one who got allotted aspirin and the ones who got placebo allotted, and then we follow them up who are developing the cardiac outcome. Okay, this is about a trial, clinical trial. Then coming to prospective study. So let us suppose presence of exposure. Now here what we are taking is exposure and non-exposure. Let us say we can select, say, a group of smokers. Okay, so this bracket indicates smoking. So a group of smokers are selected, and a group of non-smokers are taken, and they are followed up in future and see how many are developing lung cancer or any other related disease. Okay, so this one this is prospectively studied and outcome. So this is not allocation. So this is their status. That is what the difference between a trial and a prospective study. Though both of them are prospective in nature. Then who develop disease and who do not develop disease, we will look at it. So the next is we gave an example of case control study. So lung cancer cases and non-cases. So if you instead of left side, you go to the right side. So here you can see the presence of disease. So we are beginning here. We are not looking for disease to happen. Here already happened disease. We are enrolling. So we are enrolling a group of lung cancer cases and group of non-controls or non-lung cancer cases. So their status of smoking is retrospectively observed. Out of them, how many were smokers, and out of them, how many were smokers. So then we can assess that by doing the association table, disease present, disease absent, smoking and non-smoking, we can find out the association. So the next is cross-sectional study. So one example you have seen, blood pressure pattern. So blood pressure pattern is measuring adolescents' blood pressure at one time. So there is no case here, there is no control here. Every exposure or condition or outcome, everything is measured at one time point. This is also called snapshot study. So here this is called a cross-sectional study. So this by using this pattern, we can assess the blood pressure pattern. So with this, I thank you. See you again. Easy Biostat.